is ABC 13 News at 7.
And we want to get right to breaking news out of Bedford County. A fully involved house fire on Amos Bridge Road. Our ABC 13 crew is out at that fire right now. It's happening in the 1600 block of that road. At this hour, we know no one is inside that house. Bedford County crews are still on the scene working to put it out, and we're working to get more information for you. Tune in to ABC 13 News at 11 for more on this developing story. Right now we have continuing coverage of a story we've been following for you all afternoon here on ABC 13 News. A big gang roundup in Danville that has 18 people behind bars. ABC 13's Courtney Joden gives us the details.
United States Attorney Thomas Cullen says these members arrested were actively operating here in the city of Danville until early this morning. Now 18 people are in jail tonight. Cullen says this is the most significant federal prosecution of organized gang activity in the Western District of Virginia in over a decade. Here are mugshots of some of those arrested. Cullen says 10 of the people arrested were in or involved with the Rollin 60s, a set of the Crips. The other 8 were in or involved with the Millas, a set of the Bloods. Cullen says among many other violent crimes and criminal activities, the members of each group are alleged to have planned and orchestrated a deadly shooting.
The August 20th, 2016 shootout at the Southwick apartment complex that resulted in the murder of a young man named Christopher Motley, who was an innocent bystander.
Cullen says if convicted, they could get multiple life sentences. Brian McGinn with the Department of Justice says the arrested appeared in court today in Roanoke, then they were taken to jails in the area. Cullen says this is the first of hopefully more substantial indictments to come in the future. In Danville, Courtney Joden, ABC 13 News.
You may not notice the temperature so much, but we're actually seeing a weak cold front make its way into the area. The main impact that we're going to see is going to be a pleasant one, though, as we're going to see drier air. So the weather tomorrow is going to feel more comfortable as we'll have that drier air, and then we'll have the increasing humidity plus heat for the weekend, especially by Sunday. So with that drier air tomorrow morning, if you're doing some yard work, may actually feel rather pleasant to you. We'll be in the mid-60s as we begin the day. And actually, if you're up super early in the morning, say if you're up closer toward 5 a.m., you could briefly see some temperatures in the 50s. So a pleasant start to your Friday. And then by 11, we're climbing toward the 80s. Coming up a little later, I'll let you know the next time that we'll see rain back in our area.
And you can stay up to date on all the latest news and weather by using our ABC 13 News app. Then sign up for push alerts so you can get breaking news right as it happens. Researchers are conducting an experiment in Amherst County to see if guineas can help control the tick population. Officials say they have seen an increase of ticks in rural and mountainous areas of Virginia. They cause dangerous diseases like Lyme disease. Researchers from Old Dominion University are now seeing if guineas on this Amherst County farm can help decrease the population of ticks.
Guineas have been classically kind of noted in the literature as saying that they control tick species, but there's not been a really good study that's been done to really look at that and quantify it. And so that's what Lexi's doing here, and that's what I'm helping her with.
The experiment is expected to take about 2 weeks. You can count on ABC 13 to keep you updated on those results. New developments in the case of a Richmond lawyer who was found guilty of professional misconduct. Former state delegate Joe Morrissey is appealing the revocation of his law license. In 2014, a judge found Morrissey guilty of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. The case involved his then 17-year-old receptionist, whom Morrissey later married. According to the Richmond Times-Dispatch, Morrissey has asked the Virginia Supreme Court to put the revocation on hold while he appeals. Breaking news just into the newsroom moments ago. Lynchburg police tell us a second person has now died from injuries from a fatal crash on June 1st. That crash happened at Campbell Avenue and Martin Street. This is video from the scene that day. Police say 77-year-old George Reed died Monday from his injuries in that crash. Another woman, 63-year-old Anita Jordan, died at the scene after police say she drove the wrong direction on Campbell Avenue and struck 2 other cars, including Reed's. Another man, 38-year-old Brian Luckadoo, was injured in that accident. No charges are pending at this time. Now take a look at this. Police in Washington state are still searching for a gunman who fired bullets at passing cars on a state highway. A total of 4 cars were hit near the SeaTac airport, and they were all hit on the driver's side.
And then it exits into the seats.
Very scary stuff there. Highway 509 was shut down in Washington state for more than 5 hours yesterday afternoon when all of this took place. Officials say they think the shots were fired from someone hiding in the trees on the side of the road. So far, no one has been hurt. Happening right now, lawmakers are taking the field for the annual Congressional Charity Baseball game. You are looking live at the scene. This marks 1 year since a gunman opened fire at practice for last year's game, seriously injuring House Majority Whip Steve Scalise. This right there is one of the practices. During game day practice 1 year ago, Scalise and 4 others were shot in Alexandria. The gunman died on the way to the hospital. Right now, Scalise is playing in tonight's game. He was able to return to the House of Representatives in October, 4 months after the shooting. The Justice Department's internal watchdog has found that former FBI Director James Comey strayed from department norms in handling the Hillary Clinton email probe. That's according to sources familiar with a report the DOJ Inspector General released today. That report found Comey's actions were not motivated by any political bias. During a press conference this afternoon, the White House press secretary spoke about the report.
It reaffirmed the president's suspicions about Comey's conduct and the political bias among some of the members of the FBI.
Sources say the report faults Comey for deciding not to coordinate it with his DOJ superiors at key moments in the probe. In July of 2016, he announced without DOJ approval that he would not recommend charges against Clinton. Then, shortly before the election, he detailed the discovery of new, possibly relevant emails, only to reaffirm later that he wouldn't recommend charges. Clinton said those late-breaking announcements cost her the election. In response to that report, Senator Mark Warner released the following statement just hours ago. It says in part, quote, "It's important to remember today that President Trump has already said on camera why he fired James Comey to stop the Russia investigation. No claims the administration might make will change that fact." A public meeting with VDOT just wrapped up in Roanoke County. The topic, what improvement drivers would like to see on I-81. That's a live look at I-81 right now. The Interstate 81 study is coming under the direction of the state legislature, which asked VDOT to determine what improvements people would like for I-81 and how to pay for them.
We have data that has congestion and safety areas marked. What we want to hear from folks is if that is their real life experience. We have data and we're looking for that real life experience from people to tell us where their concerns are.
Over the past 5 years, there have been almost 11,000 accidents on I-81, and that means congestion. Our part of the interstate has some challenges because of the hills and terrain, also because of all the truck traffic. Tractor trailers make up about 42% of all the traffic.
This is ABC 13 News at 7.
Breaking news just into the newsroom. A jury has convicted a man charged in a shooting outside a Lynchburg restaurant. After a 2-day trial, the jury found Adrian Gray guilty of malicious wounding and use of a firearm in commission of a felony. Gray is charged with shooting Marcus McCarthy 3 times outside Toppers, which used to be on Fort Avenue in October of 2014. He will be sentenced in July. Happening now, a Roanoke business is holding a vigil for 3 employees who were found dead in a triple homicide. You're getting a live look from a vigil as we speak. It's happening at the Bent Mountain Bistro on Bent Mountain Road. Miranda Trump, Brandon Deckel, and Cole Kennedy were found dead at a house on the 9200 block of Bent Mountain early yesterday morning. The restaurant hosting the vigil for the victims posted a heartfelt message on Facebook. It says they are working to raise money for the families to help with funeral arrangements. We also have more information about about the suspect connected to the murders. Police have arrested 18-year-old Trevor Charles. He's charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of using a firearm in commission of a felony. Charles was taken to the Salem-Roanoke County Jail yesterday.
We're tracking showers and thunderstorms moving across our area right now. Lynchburg, we have some light rain making its way into town. The town of Bedford, you have some showers as well as throughout Bedford County. And there is one severe thunderstorm warning. It's for a storm which is in Floyd County. There is the town of Floyd, and right there is actually the radar site. So this storm is very close to the radar. It has a lot of lightning with it, with gusty wind possible, and it's barely moving toward the east and northeast. Looking specifically at the wind, right now just going to see some areas of red and green on here, but I'm not seeing any overly bright colors, meaning that I'm not seeing any strong and damaging wind at the moment. We'll keep tracking the storms for you coming up.
And you can stay up to date on all the latest news and weather by using our ABC 13 News app. Then sign up for push alerts so you are the first to get breaking news as it happens. One Buena Vista woman is recovering tonight after having to be pulled out of a house fire. ABC 13's Whitney Burney spoke to one of the police officers who helped to rescue her.
This is what that house looks like on 39th Street in Buena Vista. You can see there's still a fire line up and the door's charred. There are broken windows. The neighbors in this area are thanking God for the brave firefighters and police who stepped up. Take a look at this body cam footage from this past Saturday. Buena Vista police were the first on scene after a fire broke out in the 100 block of 39th Street. Officers say the entire home was filled with smoke and there was little opportunity for them to enter. They say they were told by neighbors there was still a woman inside the home. Police jumped into action, breaking out windows and trying to find a point of entry. Minutes later, they found the woman inside and pulled her and her pets to safety. They say if they had to do it all over again, they would still do it without hesitation.
In this situation, you know, we thought someone was inside, so we was going to do everything we could to try to save that person.
The homeowner is still being treated at Duke University Hospital for her injuries. Police say one of the 3 dogs rescued from the home had injuries that were too great and later had to be euthanized. The Buena Vista Police Department is giving a big thank you to the Buena Vista Fire Department for all of their help, as well as the rescue squad. They say they couldn't have done this without them. They're also praying for a speedy recovery for the homeowner. Reporting in Buena Vista, Whitney Burney, ABC 13 News.
It's a story we first told you about last night on ABC 13 News at 7. Authorities are making sure animals in our area don't have rabies. That's after a cat recently tested positive for the dangerous disease. Police say the cat attacked a man, a dog, and a puppy in the 2000 block of Langhorne Road on Friday. Now authorities are checking both fernal animals and family pets that could be infected because of communal feeding. The Lynchburg Humane Society has a program called Trap, Neuter, and Return to help.
Feeding cats, feeding them is great, but you have to take that extra step and go ahead and get them fixed with a rabies vaccine.
If you see an abnormal looking animal that is aggressive and looks dazed or confused, call police. Happening now, friends and loved ones are remembering the life of a 27-year-old man who was recently killed in Danville. Pennsylvania County Assistant Commonwealth's Attorney Chad Atchison died over the weekend. He collided with a truck while on his skateboard. Atchison was on the board of the Danville Historical Society. He also helped as an advisor for the mock trial project at Chatham High School. That memorial is going on until 8 o'clock tonight. It's happening at the Mount Hermon Chapel on Franklin Turnpike in Danville. Talks on adding a cemetery to one Appomattox community are moving forward. That public hearing just wrapped up at the CVCC Center on Carver Lane. Our reporter Kyle Wilcox was there when the meeting was going on, and as you can see, it was a full house. The Greater Lynchburg Islamic Association is asking for the area near the corner of Double Bridges Road and Hudley Springs Road to be rezoned for the cemetery. However, many neighbors are not okay with the plans. They say that this is an area where water runs that feeds their wells. At 11 o'clock tonight, we'll let you know the result of that hearing. And be prepared to spend a little more money when you travel downtown. The Lynchburg Parking Authority approved adding paid parking to 4 popular lots downtown. Those lots are all located on Jefferson Street. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, the bottom of this map, starting from the left, they include lots O, M, D, and L. The city says with the growing popularity of the area, people took advantage of the free parking, leaving no openings for people looking to patronize businesses.
small fee and that we're going to use the money for enhancing the area right around it, then I'm all for it.
Make it less. Yeah. That would be better. Yeah.
The changes won't happen until at least the beginning of next month. It will cost 25 cents for the first hour and $1 for each hour after that, with a $5 daily maximum. It will be enforced Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 p.m. Some folks in the town of Ridgway say they're risking their lives almost every day just to go for a walk. But a new group is trying to change that. A group called Photo Voice is working with VDOT to get funding to make Ridgway a safer place for people to walk. The group collected data and presented what they found to VDOT. They're now in the process of working on a transportation alternative project with VDOT. Photo Voice decided they'd like to see sidewalks all along Route 87 and a crossing light put on Church Street. One woman walks along Route 87 daily and thinks this is a good idea.
The whole purpose of this is to connect the community so people can be connected and have an easy way to get from one place to another, to travel safely.
VDOT says the town must have their application in by the fall of 2019, along with a design and some funding before they can go forward.